Alright, so this is tutorial how to sublimate on the 3D phone case. I have my own technique and it worked really well. So I'm gonna show you guys how to sublimate on this nice case. Today we're doing matte iPhone 6 case. So far we printed our design here and it's mirrored. Make sure before you print it's mirrored. Don't forget about the logo as well. We're gonna use the both sides printing, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So we have a picture here, we have a design. First, what we need to do, we need to cut the paper and split the designs in half. So simply just like cutting in the middle. Make sure you have nice sharp scissors. So that's our main design, and now I'm preparing design for printing. So I'm cutting these corners here, and next you will see why I'm cutting this way. So all you just need to cut here from the bottom and from the upper side. So you just cut like this way. You cut about like 1/3 from the one side, and you cut the same size from the other side. So then you're gonna have like this little tongue, which we're gonna use to stick our film heating tape. So, and we just repeat from the other side. The top. I cut here and I cut from another side. So, and that's what we've got. We've got 2 tons on the both sides, which is gonna really be helpful when we're gonna apply design on our case. So far it's done with the main design. Moving forward, we doing the back side. On the back side we have just logo. Make sure it's mirrored as well. So especially for back side, I did the kind of outline which helps you to cut the precisely based on the case size. So just following by this, cutting the cut line. Make sure the line will be cut together, because otherwise it will be transferred on the back side. So you're just following this outline, cutting everything what we are not gonna use, leaving just the size. You don't have to be super precise when you do for the back side, but it will help you to align the design right where you want. So like I would suggest to follow this. So now we got the back side as well. Moving back to our main design. Now I'm going to prepare the heating tape. So simply for this case, usually it takes about like 4 strips like this short one. So I usually cut them and stick next to me, so no matter what I'm doing, they will be ready for me. Of course, also you need the mold. Sometimes you're not gonna have the mold exact the same model. For example, I'm doing for iPhone 6, but I'm using mold for iPhone 7, just because they're absolutely identical in terms of size. So this mold can be also used for these purposes, and it can be used also like for even other models. Like you can use this mold for another, such as like we're using this for Google Pixel XL 3 and 2. because the sizes are pretty much similar. So what we're doing now we take our case and we place the design on the back. Don't worry if it's too big. All we just need, we need to cut here a little bit, so in order the design will fit inside there. So simply just cut around like a centimeter, 1 centimeter here. Now we're placing design, first face down. We're placing design here, and as you can see, like the logo is right there. The paper is a little bit transparent, so you can see the logo if it's placed well or not. So in our case, everything's fine. The paper actually holding there really good, so you don't need to use the heating tape. If you cut too much, you can use the heating tape to put on the back side, just in order to fix your design. So, and we're ready to apply our main design. Let me just change the camera and I'll show you how I'm applying the main design. Alright guys, so our design ready, our case ready with the back logo on the back, and heating tape also ready. So make sure the case is clean. You can use just a wipe, like a mop or something to clean. Let me just take one right here. Just no dust, no any external things, like cleaning up. Make sure it's nice, so it won't affect on your result. Next, we place the design like this, and we put right in the middle our case. We put right in the middle here. Try to follow like this rule, because usually when you do the design in Photoshop, you do design in the middle, and that guarantees that it won't move left or right, so the design will be right in the center. Don't try to position design based on your like eyeball. I would not recommend that. Just like do this way, and it will be always good. So I place my design right in the middle, as you can see here. Hopefully you can see there. You can also check the tutorial with the pictures, with the photos. There are more details, but it's nothing hard here. Just place like this the design. Then I start to folding one side from me here, and kind of folding inside of the case right here. Alright, so one side is folded. Make sure the corners, depends on the design of depends on the shape of the case. Make sure the corners also like folded there inside, and then we come to the next side and folding the same way. Folding here, making sure everything is folded and kind of like fix it, and then holding one hand and take our mold and place in the one side first here like this, still holding here so the paper won't move, and then we simply just putting down the next side and apply a little bit of pressure. So as you can see, now our design is fixed right in the case, and all we just need to do, we need to cut the corners, because the corners is the main headache when you're doing the design. Most of the time corners might you can see the folded lines there, which is not actually so great. And in order to get the perfect design, you need to cut here at the corners like this way. So you're cutting from one side, make sure it goes right to the case, and you cut from another side the same way, right, the same way, And from the other side, you do completely the same thing. Just cut like this way. So you can see here, I cut until here, but don't go too much, like otherwise the line will be visible. So when I finish the cutting this, now we need to adjust the design to make sure it will be transferred everywhere. So the best way I'm doing here, I'm just folding this side. Again, depends on the shape, but most of the shapes of the cases are similar. So I'm just folding here. Make sure the paper is folding like not on the case. And usually I release this upper side because it's going to be covered with our part of design here. So I'm trying to kind of like fold it this way. When you fold it like this way, you simply cover by our tongue, which we prepared when we cut the design out. And you apply the heating press here and here. Just because I'm using the really thin heating tape, it's not that wide, so I'm applying two. You can use with one. Sometimes you can use this tape after you used already the heating press. You can peel off and use for a second time, which is really good. And we repeat from the other side. We're just folding here, make sure the design covers all our white spots, and the same thing here. Usually the clients, they don't pay attention, and I think it's true, like the corners are not that important. When they see the final result, it will be like wow effect, and they don't even pay attention for the corners. But like we in Instagram trying to do everything perfect, was willing to give the maximum result. So that's why I came up with this technique. So at the end, you just getting like this. Here is folded, all white spots are covered by our design. Don't worry if it's not like folded perfectly, because under the vacuum we're gonna use the vacuum machine, and you can also like apply some pressure on that by your hand, and it will be fine. So for this case, we're gonna use 10 minutes with the 196-95 degrees Celsius, and let's prepare your heating machine. All right, so here's our heating machine turned off. We turn it on. You see here everything good. Before to start using, check if there is nothing left inside in the machine. Everything is good, everything is fine. Here you can see everything empty, there no ribs. Make sure there's no holes, otherwise the vacuum won't work. Covering, press the power on. We have 10 minutes and 196 degrees Celsius, so it's ready to be preheat. And then I press heating 2 times. That allow us to heat the upper and down sides. So make sure you're doing the 2 sides, otherwise the picture won't transfer completely. So, and now we're just waiting until the sublimation machine got hot. While you're waiting, I would suggest to prepare your heating gloves, like we're having here, your heating gloves. And also, after when we're done the printing, we're gonna need the water. So let me bring the water, and you will see why we need the water. All right, guys, when the machine is ready, it's gonna give you a signal. I'm gonna use just 1 heat glove, but I would highly recommend to use 2. Just like in order to hold the camera, I'm using 1. So it's so hot, make sure like everything is, safety is our priority, right? So you can place the case pretty much everywhere. And since we place the case, we're closing up here. in order to create the vacuum there, and then we press the vacuum button. So as you can see, the silicone cover just wrap everything, and you just follow on the edges, because as I said, the corners is the most the most hardest part to get perfect. So, and you can also do like kind of like a make sure there's no air anywhere. Don't go so crazy with this. When it's everything done, you close it up and press timing, and our time start counting. So don't worry about the temperatures, because temperature might change within like this time. It can go down, it can go up. Of course, make sure that it's more or less stable. No go down more than 150. That means like some problem with the heat press. And also you have to check the pressure of your pressure of your vacuum machine. So as you can see here, it's slightly like close to the red, which is, I consider it good, because with the time your vacuum film, silicone film, it's gonna stretch more and the pressure will be less. So make sure the pressure is fine, and let's see our result in 10 minutes. Also guys, I forgot to tell you, so here I prepared the water. We're gonna need the water because after sublimation the case is gonna be slightly bigger and it's gonna be really soft. So we need to get this right shape and form, and for this reason we have water here. And also I do have the dummy phone. Like, you can use actually even original one. Just because I don't have original one, I'm using this dummy phone. We're gonna, after water, we're gonna put the case on the dummy phone and it will take the final adjustments. So I'm gonna show you how it's gonna be. We still have 8 minutes. You can have some coffee or clean the store, or no matter what you're doing here. So yeah, listen music. Alright guys, see you in 8 minutes. Okay guys, 15 seconds and we are ready to see the result. So as you can see, the temperature, it was like going down up to 180 and then went up to like 205. So when it's done, you hear the signal, you press the power button, release the cover from the top. Here's our case. Again, I'm using one hand. You can use 2 hands. It's highly recommended to use 2 hands. So we just release this from our mold, and it's time to see the result. Wow, already can see some picture on that. So here we got the design on that. Release the back side as well. So here we got the design ready, slightly bound like this, so it won't like it will give us, it will fit in the case, but not too much. And then we just put this in the water for a few seconds, and after this we're putting on the case.